Hi everyone, I'm Lesley O'Toole. I'm a contributor to Backstage magazine and a few British magazines. I'm absolutely thrilled to welcome Alex Meneses here tonight. You don't know her just from this show. She was also in Friends, Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, Everybody Loves Raymond, and assorted films from Serena to Autofocus and the Flintstones in Viva Rock Vegas. Here is Alex, alias Isabella and Carmen. How fun was that episode? Hi.
Hi. Is this on? Okay.
It's on. Talk close.
First of all, can I take a quick selfie?
Of course.
Okay, everyone say hi.
Hi.
All right.
That was such a fun episode. How was it for you watching it back now?
It was a blast watching it because I hadn't seen it for a while. I wanted to distance myself from it because when we shot it, it was the 7th or 8th episode in, and we had gotten so tight, so close as a group that even though I do a lot of backstory and a lot of research for each of my characters, so I can let it go when I'm actually doing it, everyone just loves what the other person's doing, and you really need to hang on to your character. And so,
or characters, as the case may be.
And so I felt good about what I did, but I was like, I need to distance myself and watch it again. And it was so much fun to watch it again, to watch Carmen, the sociopath, and Isabella.
Obviously, there's a lot of very amusing behind-the-scenes stuff, but can you just explain to us how you filmed that amazing catfight scene?
Oh my gosh, that took a long time because it was some kind of computer. I have no idea. I'm not really great with computers, but my stunt double had to wear dots all over her face, and we had to do the fight, and then switch. And I had to switch twins. I'm getting confused. And the other stunt double who played the other twin had to do the same thing, and we had to do the fight again. But it was so much fun doing that fight scene. I love the physicality of characters. I think it really helps. It really helps in acting when you're physical, when you're.
I was going to say, so it's a very physical, fun role. I mean, not just.
Oh yeah, the whole
episode.
show was very physical, and I love that. One of the guys from one of our episodes is here.
Hi. Hi.
From an episode we did. It was so fun to see him. Hi, how are you? But yeah, the whole show was like that, big and broad and beautiful and very physical. I love physical comedy. Just because, when you get your blood moving, your adrenaline goes and you start to feel things more easily. You're just warmed up. And that's what it was like all the time, every week.
Now, you and Eva go way back. I understand you met at the ALMA Awards a few years ago and immediately bonded.
I know Eva. I've known her for about 15 years.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah, casually.
Yeah. So what did she tell you about this role and job?
She wanted to see me, but then when she did see me, she told me I was too young for the part. She said, well, you can't play this part. You're way too young. And I said, honey, you look like you're 16. So come on, it's Hollywood. That's Hollywood for you. Everybody looks younger.
So you had to talk her into it?
I had to do the best audition of my life, which was easy for me as far as Isabella was concerned, because even when I read the pilot, I remember reading the pilot and I was in bed laying down, and I remember sitting up from laughing so hard for a few of the jokes. And Isabella, I really love. I love the character of Isabella. She's, people are like, she's a bitch, she's this, she's that. I don't think she is. She's not a bitch. She's strong, she's unapologetic. She's a sexy woman, which you don't get that in Hollywood a lot. You don't get parts that are written for older ladies that are portrayed as being sexy. And so I loved this part. I said to myself, I need to get this part because I know Isabella. And I carry her inside me, of course. I just can't live the way she lives all the time because she's much more deliberate, the way she moves, and because she thinks that everyone's looking at her all the time. So, you know, the way she moves her head and her body. Yeah, I love her.
So you're actually a former makeup artist. So when you went in to do that audition to convince her you could do it, did you do your own makeup then?
I did my own makeup and I drew lines on my eyes. I mean, I have creases now, and I didn't have them 20 years ago. But I just accentuated everything. Every line I had, I just sort of accentuated everything.
And obviously, it really does send up aging in Hollywood. I mean, who else in Hollywood would want to make themselves look older? I mean, what sort of dynamic is that for you as an actress?
Well, it's just a part of being an actor. I mean, Isabella is a character. She's a character, like I said, very close to my heart. But she, to me, is a real character. I didn't want her to be a caricature. I didn't want her to be silly, and so I had to do a lot of homework, a lot of backstory, because she had to come from somewhere real. So she had a very real, very big story in her life. And, you know, I embrace the idea of playing a character with an accent or older, or I love it. Yeah, I love it.
So what sort of reaction did you get from people once Carmen had appeared, you know, for people that maybe weren't super familiar with you beforehand? I mean, was it thrilling to be able to show your other self?
Everyone loved Carmen on the set. It was bizarre because everyone loved Carmen and nobody likes Isabella. But Amaury had a crush on Carmen. It was so crazy. Every time he saw me, he'd be like, "Hi," as Carmen, and you know, and I would be very Carmen. "Hi, Amaury," sort of whispery, and he loved that. But it was a very strange and fun dynamic. Yeah, I loved it.
I have a question from the audience from Melly, who wants to know, had you watched telenovelas previous to this or not?
Not really. My dad's from Mexico. He's Mexican, and he just had an operation today, and he did great. Great. Yeah. It was supposed to be next Monday, and they changed it at the last minute, and I was like, great, really? But he's awesome, and he's relaxing. Oh wait, I'm sorry, what'd you ask me?
Did you watch telenovelas, you know, prior to getting the job?
I did not, because my mom's American.
Yeah.
She's Ukrainian, but she's American, and so that was not happening in my house. We didn't.
So did you look at some prior to filming this?
Oh yeah, I did.
Which?
And well, I'm kind of hooked on Celia, the Celia Cruz one.
Fabulous.
It's fabulous. I just love the music in it, and everyone's always crying. It's a lot of fun. I love the Celia Cruz, but yeah.
Now, the sad news for anyone that doesn't know is that the series is actually cancelled.
We just got cancelled.
Incredible. I think you would all agree. That's crazy. But do you think it may have a future life? Obviously, there are so many different platforms now.
It might. Never say never. Eva has a lot of things going on. She is a busy girl, but and I just saw her last week, and you never know.
But would you love it to continue in
I
some
would.
shape or
It was
form?
fun. I loved that character. Like I said, there's not a whole lot open to older broads. Normally, you have to play the lieutenant or the judge or something, you know. But yeah, telenovela was a blast and a half, and it was a great experience. And one of the best part of the series was Eva, getting close to Eva and really connecting to everyone on the show. And I'm still close to them. We're still close. So at least we have that.
Absolutely.
You know, it's work comes and goes. It happens, but.
Now, you were raised in Chicago, and I understand you danced as a child and then became a makeup artist. Can you talk a little bit about your journey to acting?
Yeah, born and raised in Chicago. My aunt had the local dance studio, and so I started tap and ballet when I was 3 and danced my whole childhood and teenage years. And I always loved makeup. I don't know why, and always worked sort of since I was 12. In the dance studio, and then in fast food places and stores. You know, I come from a very strong work ethic. So I've always worked. My friends were going to camp, and I'm like, I got a full-time job at 14, you know. So I loved working. I worked at I Magazine when I was 15 as a makeup artist, and just continued from there. Went into a modeling agency to get a real agent for modeling so I can make real money. And they thought I was there to show my modeling book. And I had this makeup book that was extensive, I mean, really good. And they said, we'll take you on, but as a model. And my first job was a beer poster. But I got $10,000, so I was like...
Was that not the first thing that they sent you out for?
Yeah, it was the very first thing they sent me out for.
So you thought, I'm meant to be doing this, maybe?
I said, yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. Mm-hmm.
And how was the experience? I understand you also worked as a fit model for Gianni Versace. How was that
I
experience?
was, yeah. That was one of my best experiences. Well, I lived in Italy for 2 years, and in Greece for about a year, and Germany, in Europe for about 5 years. But I was doing some print. I really wasn't doing runway. I wasn't tall enough, and I was never thin enough. But Gianni Versace, the folks at Gianni Versace liked my body for their clothes, and so I was their blouse and skirt model. And saw Mr. Versace all the time. He was so classy, so handsome, and smelled so good. He was a wonderful guy. He was a very, very special man.
I'm just going back to actually have a question from India. You're a brilliant comedic actress and such an incredible screen presence, which we've all just seen. And, can you tell us what's coming up next for you?
Well, we're in development right now for a new show, a new comedy called Weddings, Inc. And I play Rosa, a wedding coordinator. It's very, very adorable. And we just shot the trailer for it, and so we'll see about that. And did a movie called Ripped, and I guess we're doing more on this movie called Ripped, which is a coming-of-age sort of pothead movie, like a kid. It's very funny, but...
Starring the hilarious Russell Peters.
Yes.
So what was that experience like?
He's crazy.
Yeah.
I love him. And Faison Love, who is actually a brilliant actor. Yeah. We had a lot of fun in Texas and made a funny movie, and we'll see what happens.
Fabulous. Now, you also have your own production company. Mm-hmm. Do you feel that's essential in this day and age, and how did that come about for you?
When I got married, I sort of semi-retired, but I couldn't stay out of the business, and I wasn't getting the parts that I wanted. I decided to have a production company, and I was looking for comedies, romantic comedies, and in the meantime, I produced a few documentaries. And
about what?
Well, one is Australians Hit Hollywood, and it's about it's about Australians coming to Los Angeles and trying to make it, and it's even though it's about Australians, to me it's an immigrant story, really, because it shows how strong the immigrant drive is. The Australians come here and they are gung-ho. I mean, they will do whatever they have to do to make it work. They're very tight, they're very close together, they're very supportive of each other. And that's sort of the story of my father. And so I was really attracted to that.
What's your connection to Aussies?
Collie St. Clair, right there. My assistant, my buddy, writer, director.
Hi.
So, and I love the Aussies. I always love them. I get along with them very well. And then I did a movie called Damn to Heaven about Mormons, fundamentalist Mormons.
Wow, how interesting. Mm-hmm. Was that fascinating?
That was a tough movie. Yeah. I just actually came in at the end to sell it to Sundance Channel. I sold it to Sundance Channel and to the BBC.
Fantastic.
That was a few years ago. It was a long time ago, actually. But I enjoyed all that producing, but I didn't enjoy it that much, to be honest. If some great project comes along, I will absolutely embrace it, but I feel much better in front of the camera. Is
there any dream project of yours, though, that you've had on the back burner? Anything you could share?
Dream project? telenovela. Yeah, no, really.
Now, tell us about your training, because you said that you trained as a makeup artist to actually pay for classes at Lee Strasberg, I understand.
Right. Well, no. I modeled to pay for Lee
Oh, okay.
Strasberg. By
Right,
that time, I had modeled
Right.
for a while, and I came here to study at Strasberg. I wanted to study at Strasberg, and it's either here, New York, or London. And I couldn't live in London or New York. I couldn't live in New York anymore. And so I came here and studied for 4 years, and it was wonderful. It was a life-changing experience. It was like going to a psychiatrist and just, you know, it's so heavy. I loved it at that time. It was a
Can
wonderful.
you share anything that you feel you particularly took from that training?
How to warm my body up, how important it is to warm your body up, how physicality is so important, how much we keep inside our bodies at all time and we don't even realize it. You know, if you're tightening your fist all the time, is that an anger issue, or, you know, your jaw? And I mean, it's, we're such physical beings, and we ignore our bodies so much. You know, if you have a pain, we take a pill for it instead of finding out why you have a pain. You know, why are my knees bothering me? Well, maybe you're not walking correctly, or, you know, you're running too much. Or, so that was very important for me, and that was a wonderful thing for me. Also because I had been a dancer, and when I started modeling, I wasn't dancing anymore, so I wasn't in touch with my body anymore, and it was very frustrating. And I didn't realize it was that. And when I started to go to Strasberg, it's all about that. You have to warm your body up for 45 minutes, you know, just.
And then what about the famed Second City in Chicago?
That was some of the most fun I've ever had. And I just did a workshop, I would say 6 years ago, because I hadn't taken a class in so long. And I cannot believe how talented the kids are. They're so much sharper than we were when I was younger. I mean, just terrifically talented kids. I was going up to kids going, "You need to come to LA because I want to do a show with you." You know, I was like, I was an agent. It was a lot of fun, and it's a very different way of thinking. You know, that it's that improv where nothing's wrong, and it's a round way of thinking, rather than a sort of a, I don't know how to explain it. It's just a lot of fun.
So what would you consider your big break, and how was it coming here? Salma Hayek's an old friend of mine, and, you know, for years she was just offered, you know, The Maid and that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. Did you have some time of going through that, and then something clicked, or you got one particular
always.
job?
I mean, I think I've had a few breaks, and then, you know, something you don't work for a while, and then you have another sort of break, and then you just don't work for a while, and then you have a mini break. And then you have a huge break, but then the show gets canceled. And then, you know, so it's just an ongoing thing. I just consider myself a working actress. This was a great break for me. I mean, in so many ways, it was so satisfying to play this character and to be with these people every week who I just love. And to, especially Eva. She's such a wonderful person, wonderful girl, very generous and beautiful and talented. And I love her to pieces. So,
how would you say she was especially supportive of you during this show?
She wanted to make sure that I was not ugly. It was very important for her. She was not thrilled about me doing the lines. It was very important for her for me to be as pretty as I could be, and as just to feel great about myself. And she's that way with everyone. She's a great businesswoman. She gives of herself. She's so supportive when we're doing scenes. She's so helpful as far as everything goes. She's wonderful. I miss her.
How much time did you actually spend in makeup every morning, and hair, because that hair is a work of art in itself?
Well, my hair is its own character. My hair's name was Chabella. Yeah, I was Isabella, and then there was Chabella. About 2 hours. 2 hours. it was different all the time because they didn't know what to do with my hair. They were having so many problems with my hair because my real hair won't do that. And it took so much for it to do that. And so I had a wig, and then I had a half wig, and then it was a whole thing. But it was a lot of fun. It was a lot. And I never realized how heavy it was. People would say to me, doesn't your neck hurt? And I was in this euphoric state filming telenovela, and I said, oh no, I love it. It's no problem. And then when we stopped filming, I had a sore neck for like 3 months. I was like, what is going on? I guess my hair was really heavy.
Now, you mentioned kids earlier. You also do a lot of philanthropic work, including for the Children's Hospital here. How do you find the time for that, and how did that come about for you?
Well, I mean, I have to use my time accordingly. I wish I was more involved with children's. I used to be. I've been on the board of trustees for 11 years, and
Wow.
I was a volunteer. I have a trustee member here tonight, Kathy Siegel. She's a wonderful person.
Hi.
But once I had a child, I mean, I want to do more and more and more, but like my father says, charity starts at home. And so I have to take care of her and her needs. And if I have time left over, I can do other things. But we raise money. Children's Hospital is the only freestanding children's hospital in Los Angeles, and it's an amazing place as far as discovering, research. And we get the sickest kids in LA. They come to us, and we try to cure them, and usually do. Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. So you've said that you'd like to end up in Chicago.
Well, I'm not sure.
You changed your mind again.
I don't know. I mean, LA's been so good to me. I love it here. I love the weather, but I also love Chicago. I love the feeling of Chicago. It's a beautiful city. My whole family's there. I'm not really sure. It depends on Stella's school and how it depends on her.
So has this show introduced some casting directors to you, meaning have you gone to meetings where people were expecting
I don't know. Why don't you ask
Isabella?
my agent? He's here.
Well, but there must have been occasions when you've met people who were, thinking they were meeting her and were like, wow, you don't look
I don't
anything
know.
like
I've been
her.
around for a while. A lot of
Yes,
the casting
yeah,
agents
yeah.
know me.
Yep.
But it's true. No one recognizes me ever. Everyone
Really?
recognizes Diana when we're out.
Yeah.
Her the curly
Yes,
hair.
yes.
Everyone recognizes Diana. Al Mowry. No one ever recognizes me, which is okay. It's okay. I don't usually go out with hair and makeup. I usually look like sweatpants and no makeup. I gotta try a little harder. Maybe I should try a little harder.
Are you particularly a TV fan? Because you have worked, it seems, more extensively in television than film. Is that just how things panned out?
Yeah, I love all the mediums. I mean, they're all different. I love theater too. I love doing theater. I did a lot of theater in Chicago, and I did a little here. I can't do it now, not with my daughter, because it just takes your whole life over. So that's sort of out of the cards for right now. But I do like TV, and I think TV's getting better and better. I love doing film. I like all of it.
Is there anyone in particular you're dying to work with?
I would love to work with Meryl Streep. I just love her. Everything she does. He's scared now. Bye, agent. Bye, Joel. Bye, Gabe.
He's gone to get on the phone.
To book me a job. My manager's here too, though, Cindy.
Have you ever met Meryl?
I've never met her.
Oh, she's so great. I once interviewed her and she had, soil under her nails because she'd just come from her garden. And she refused to take the car that the film company had provided, and she made the limo driver drop her around the corner at the subway, which was just not allowed for Meryl Streep to take the subway.
Why was she so...
Oh, she just wanted to go home on the subway. She didn't want to, have her town car, but, I just love that.
Oh, okay.
Who else would do that? And who else? What about any men?
Right. Yeah, I would love to... Oh, men.
Men.
I
don't want to put you on the spot.
No one jumps out at me.
Right.
I have to be honest. I'm not like crazy to work with anyone right now. That's a man. I mean, I would love to work with. Maybe Al Pacino. I love Al Pacino.
You'll be taller than him.
Ryan Reynolds, I think, is very funny. I just
Yep.
saw Deadpool. He's very good in that.
Yeah.
Actually, now that I'm thinking of it, there are a lot of
the names are
guys.
starting to come. What do you like watching on TV?
Well, right now, I love
Besides Celia Cruz.
I love the British shows. Vera
Good. Oh,
and
yeah.
Father Brown.
Yep.
I love these gorgeous English countryside. Game of Thrones. I like Game of Thrones too. I do. I love the music. I just want to listen to the music. But the beautiful countrysides,
Oh, yeah.
and then these horrific murders in the
Yep.
middle of the meadow. And Vera, she's so sweet. She calls everyone love and pet.
Yes.
Would you like some tea, pet?
Yep. Of course.
You know,
Everything is made
tea.
better with a cup of tea.
Pet, love. And then can you tell us why your wrench was in your boyfriend's head? You know, she's so sweet. I just love her.
What about Happy Valley? Have you seen that?
Happy Valley.
Happy Valley. You need to see that.
Right.
That will, yes.
Right. No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, that would be right up your alley.
Okay, great.
Lots of that.
Love those.
Tea
And
and killing.
I love Luther.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Luther's
I would love to be
fantastic. So
Luther.
you'd love to work with Idris Elba?
Yes. I would. And I would love to be the American Luther.
Yes.
Yeah, I would. Just putting it out there.
Yep. Absolutely. I just have to ask you one last thing. I'm very jealous that you have a real Basquiat painting. What's the story of
Oh,
acquiring
my Basquiat?
that?
No, it's not a painting.
Oh.
It's a litho. So don't be that jealous.
Oh, it's still pretty good.
It is. It's wonderful. He's wonderful. He was wonderful. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, you knew about that, huh? Mm-hmm. My Basquiat.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Alex. We look forward to seeing you all over the place on
Thank
big and
you.
small screens.
Thank you, folks.